up, YouTube? It's your boy WTF Squirtle, and today we are doing a battle where I commentate personally. I've had a lot of requests for this, and we're battling Spooky Dunker Bammer. I'll talk a little bit more about him after the fight. He's a really good friend and a really good sub. I figured he'd have to go for Mewtwo. He'd have to go for Broke and go for the Calm Minds. Try and set him up. So I went for the silver because I recently got rid of Psychic. Yeah, I know, Stab Psychic. I got rid of it for Thunder Wave, and this actually won this. I guarantee you I would have got swept by this Mewtwo if I didn't have this T-Wave right here. You gotta have at least one T-Waver. I T-Wave assuming he's the Calm Mind knockout build, and I was gonna go for the Shadow Ball, but I figured Aeroblast has a higher base power and it's Stab. So, even with the super effective damage, I think it would still end up being a little bit more. I might test that later on down the road. But I was just going for some solid damage. I was trying to put as much hurt into this Mewtwo. Because once I've got the Mewtwo knocked out, I have the entire battle. Because 3 of them are Dragon types. And I still have my Mewtwo. I still have my Darkrai also. So I just go for the damage. I let Silver get knocked out, and I said, whatever, then I'll switch into Darkrai because anything he switches into at this point, the Dark Pulse will do a decent amount of damage to. So I figured, I was contemplating right here whether or not to Nasty Plot, but I just wanted to get him knocked out because I figured he was gonna switch, and he did switch, but I didn't Dark Pulse because if he didn't switch, that Aura Sphere probably would have knocked me out. So. And, such a surprising amount of damage. The Spiritomb might not be trained like mine is. I figured he cannot knock me out. He's going to Pain Split because he's a Spiritomb. So I'm going to go ahead and get the free Nasty Plot. Because Pain Split doesn't really matter. Because once I'm Nasty Plotted up, I can pretty much knock the whole team out. That was my logic. So I said, screw it. You know what? What is he going to do? What could he possibly do? So I go for another Nasty Plot. The most powerful thing he has in his arsenal right now to hurt me with is Shadow Ball, and Spiritomb is not an attacker, so I knew it would not do my full health. He switches into the Shuckle. Assuming that he was going to Toxic, I was going to click the Nasty Plot one more time, but I went with the Ice Beam just trying to get the Toxic out of the way, and he barely lives because Shuckle is a monster, and he gets the poison off. That sucks. And I was going to switch here, but I just tried to go for the attack. I knew he was going to protect, and I knew it was probably going to knock me out due to toxic damage. But if I can get another knockout with Darkrai, then his you know what I mean, his job has been done. I wasn't trying to sweep, you know what I mean. I was trying to do an actual battle. Because his team is actually kind of scary. So, you know what I mean, he has a good team. It's not like it's bad or nothing like that. I get the knockout finally, but Shuckle did his job. He put in the work because the next poison's going to kill me for sure. So he should have went into the Mewtwo, let his Mewtwo die because it's going to die, and then let me take the poison damage and die. But he did not do that. He went to the Spiritomb and let me get another knockout before I die. Since his Mewtwo is damaged and paralyzed, he should have threw out the Mewtwo, let it die from the Darkrai. Let the Darkrai die from the toxic damage. That way, it still leaves us both with 4 Pokemon, and he would have 4 Pokemon at decently high health. You know what I mean? He'd still be at a disadvantage, but it would be way better than what he just did. Just my personal preference. Here, I was indecisive on who to go for, and I just said screw it and went with the Palkia because 3 out of the 4 next Pokemon are all going to get one shot by the Spatial Ren, so this is very iffy. This is where I did not think I thought I was going to get outspeeded, so I went to switch, and I said, you know what, I'll just Spatial Ren. If I get knocked out with the Draco Meteor, it doesn't matter, because I can still take this. I can still Hammer Arm one shot with God in the Hood. I can still Superpower one shot with Gigas, but I outspeed, and I knock it out in one shot. Pop the Molly, I'm sweating. I kind of spazzed there in the comments. He's like, what? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just freaking out. He goes for the paralyzed Mewtwo. I would have done that a long time ago and just let it go. It can't survive a hit from anything at this point. So I was like, you know what I mean? Forget it. Just go for this. Go for the damage. I hit him with the Spatial Ren just in case if anything else was not enough because I did not feel like getting Psystriked. Or God forbid, he is a Calm Mind Mewtwo. God forbid he has Thunder Wave. I'd cry. Giratina offense. Okay, so I figured this one was going to knock me out because Giratina usually does not go down to the Spatial Ren. But this is the offensive Dialga and the Giratina, and the stats are a little bit different. So I just went for the Spatial Raid anyways. Assumed I was going to get knocked out by the Draco Meteor, but actually got the one-shot off. That was really lucky. I was just going to let it die, switch into Mewtwo, and hit it with the Shadow Ball or the Psy Strike or whatever. This one I knew I outspeeded him. I knew this was game. Just went for another flat-out Spatial Raid raw power. Even if I died, I still have 3 more people to lean on. This is, by the way, this is the 100% full power team. If you didn't know, it'll be in the video's title, so you probably did know. This is the full power team. The only thing I would change is if so many people in the current meta didn't run Volcarona, I wouldn't run Lugia. I run that as a direct response to Volcarona because they Quiver Dance, you T-Wave, next move you Aeroblast one-shot. Or you could just Aeroblast, take the hit, Aeroblast, knockout. You know what I mean? It's just a bad Pokemon that... I mean, it's a great Pokemon, but it's a bad strategy when it's in the wrong hands. People who don't know how to use it. You're not trying to get 3 Quiver Dances off because you're not going to live, Johnny. You're just trying to get the one. If you don't have self-sustainability, it's not going to work. But anyways, guys, people wanted to see a full power team. People wanted to see a commentated video. And my buddy Dunker wanted to get on the channel. I did all 3-in-1 video. Alright, guys, you guys have a good one. Out.